Holy moly. So I I got a letter in the mail informing me that my taxes, my property taxes for my house are $8,000. 8,000 and some change. And I'm just like, what in the world? And because my taxes are so high, that means that my mortgage payment skyrocketed. It went up $700. This is all because of escrow. Let's talk about it.
Where are we going?
To where the money grows.
Okay, so what is an escrow? An escrow is essentially, think of it as like a savings account that is held by your lender. And then out of that savings account, your lender will pay for your property taxes. Your lender will also pay for your home insurance. And so what your lender does, for me, it's Bank of America. So what Bank of America does is say, okay, we project that for 2025, taxes are gonna be this much, home insurance is gonna be this much. Once they get that amount, they take it and then they divide it into 12, because there's 12 payments in a year. They charge that to my mortgage every month. But essentially, whenever you look at your mortgage statement, you should see if you have an escrow, because this is optional. We'll talk about that in 1 second. But the way that I have it, because I do have escrow, the breakdown goes like this. We have principal, which is the house. We have interest, it is a loan. And then we have escrow. Under escrow, we have property taxes, and then we also have home insurance. Right? And so like I mentioned, this is something that is optional. You have the option to either opt for the escrow, where, like I mentioned, your lender would calculate how much your taxes would be, how much your home insurance should be, and then they would charge you a monthly amount included in your mortgage. Or you have the option to pay your real estate taxes and your home insurance separately. For me personally, I like the idea of it all just being included in one payment. I don't have to worry about real estate taxes. I don't have to worry about home insurance payments. It's all just there in my mortgage payment every month. And I do want to say, right, so because it is a projection, like, hey, this is how much we think you're going to pay for taxes. This is how much we think you're going to pay for home insurance. That means that every year there's also something called an escrow analysis. And so essentially an escrow analysis is where your lender will see like, okay, we charge you this amount for taxes, we charge you this amount for home insurance. And then they look at what they projected, what they guessed it would be, and what the actual amount would be. So this means that if it's a year, for example, for me last year, they charged me too much for taxes. And so whenever they did my escrow analysis, they said, hey, we were charging you too much. We're gonna lower your mortgage payment so you don't keep overpaying. And we're also gonna refund you the difference. I get a nice big fat check in the mail that was equivalent to 1 month's worth of mortgage. It was amazing. But then also the opposite can happen. If it's a situation where what they projected is lower than what you actually owed, then they're gonna charge you more. This is exactly what we're seeing across social media right now. It's crazy, right? But essentially this is what's happening when people say, oh, my mortgage went up $10,000, or my mortgage went up $2,000. And I wanna talk about that a little bit more. Why this happens, because it's not something that happens to everyone. It's not something that happens every year. If you listen to a lot of those videos, they'll usually say that they have a new construction home, and that is key. This is happening to people who recently bought a new construction home. And the reason why is because of that escrow analysis. What happened when these people bought these homes is they were only paying taxes for their lot. Your lot is just like the land that you own. Then the city or the town or wherever they live in said, whoa, now we gotta tax you more, because you don't just have a plot of land, you have a plot of land and a house. And the house. This is where the additional tax comes from, because now there's a new house on the lot that they have to pay for. And for the people that like this is a surprise for, I've seen people say like on TikTok, like, oh, I cannot afford this. I thought my payment was gonna be X, and now with this escrow analysis, I have to pay so much more. They were not informed correctly by their real estate agent. Their real estate agent should have told them like, hey, this is a new construction house. This is what the taxes currently are. Basically nothing, because it's just a plot of land. But whenever you get your analysis, the taxes are going to go up drastically, because now there's going to be a house. In order to help these people plan, the payment that you're going to pay this first year is not what you're going to be paying once those taxes hit, essentially. And that is the problem that we have with new builds. You don't know how much the taxes are going to be because there's never been a house on that plot of land, right? The only thing that you can really do is prepare for when those taxes hit, so you have the money to either pay a lump sum so your payment remains the same, your mortgage payment, or have enough money so that you can pay a higher mortgage payment after those taxes are calculated. For me, thankfully, I'm out now like $7,000, but luckily I had savings, right? And also I bought a house. You guys know I live in a townhouse. Like, I live well below my means. Whenever you're buying a house, you don't want to buy as much house as you can buy and then be in a crunch. And then if something like this happens, then you're in a situation where you have to sell the house because you can't afford it. And a lot of people think, oh, well, I have a new build. Nothing's going to break. I'm not going to have to replace the water heater or the radiator or whatever, like an older house, right? So people think like, oh, newer house, less bills, less maintenance. But this is a perfect example. Even with a newer house, there are still times when something's going to come up, whether it's taxes or whatever else. And so how does this factor in with NACA? Because honestly, like, NACA has saved me so much money. Literally, I live in a townhouse. Both of my neighbors put up for sale signs because they can't afford it. You feel me? At the end of the day, I am so grateful for NACA because I'm still saving so much money. I did not put a down payment on my house and I don't have PMI. So I'm saving like $300, $350 every month on PMI. And just so there is no misunderstanding, I do want to clarify that this escrow has nothing to do with NACA. The reason I'm in this situation and the reason why this affected me is because I bought a new build. Thanks to NACA, I don't pay nearly as much as what my neighbors pay. And then also too, because I prepared for this happening, the whole thing with the escrow, I can keep my house. And I really just wanted to make this video because there's a lot of like misinformation out there and just people not fully understanding or fully explaining, right? This whole escrow thing will only happen if it's a new construction house. And I just don't want people to see these videos about escrow and how people are having to sell their houses or how they owe $20,000 in their taxes and then be afraid to buy their house. You can still do the things, you just have to be informed about how it works so that you can prepare and then choose the house that's right for you. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you again next time. Bye.